I think our stories, whether for good or bad stories, helps us. You had something I saw. You did something on YouTube, but somebody beat you to the song, and it was like a big opportunity you could have took advantage of, but you just didn't know better about like owning the music.
Oh, yeah. So
what happened there, man?
Man, that's a fucking. So this is 18-year-old Caleb we're talking about.
Whoa, damn.
And you know, I feel like a lot of artists, like their first like heartbreak song, always, like, for me, it sounded so fucking corny to me, bro. Like, and it was like engineered to perfection. The beat was hard, and I remember sitting there and I'm like, man, I'm just like being a crybaby, you know? Like, I'm like this is some bullshit.
Some 808 heartbreaks.
You know what I mean? And like, I was so like it was a good song too, but I just remember being like, ain't nobody give a fuck about my feelings, bro. Like, you know, whatever.
So you were sleeping on it a little bit.
Yeah. And so I just said, fuck it. You know what I mean? And threw it on SoundCloud.
Oh,
and I remember waking up the next day, and it just literally, it was like 150,000 or something stupid like that in like 24 hours, bro. And I remember sitting there like, well, okay, so what I did, somehow in my 18-year-old brain, this was like marketing genius, and I didn't even realize it, but I used a picture of, it was like a picture of Bart Simpson with like X's hair, and he was like in a room, and like for whatever reason, that cover art, like, people just, it was like right after X's passing, I just like, it just went stupid, you know what I mean? And I remember like that moment of waking up and being like, the last song I dropped had 60 plays, and this one has 180,000. I'm sitting there staring at it like, what the, you know? And I'm like, my Facebook is blowing up. Like, people are like, bro, you hear this kid? And I'm like sitting there like, holy fuck, I did it. And then, no, I did not, because I didn't know how to like market it correctly. I didn't have the funding. And then when I went to go buy the beat, and like, I just made all this bread, I'm gonna go monetize it, it was gone because someone found my shit and was like, and basically took the beat and made it into, you know, they found a way to flip it. So
you found a beat you liked, you rapped over it, recorded it, but because you didn't own the, wow, man.
I didn't have the marketing brain, you know what I mean?
For sure, 18.
Apparently I did enough for the cover art thing, you know what I mean? But like that, like I said, that was basically on accident, you know what I mean? I just was like, oh, Bart with X's hair, cool, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't thinking like, oh, this is genius. Like, I'm just like, oh, this looks sick. So yeah, that was definitely a lesson of like, no matter what you think things are, it could always be something else. You know what I mean? Like, I woke up with 180,000 in a day, and I'm still not there. You know, I remember getting my first record label call actually like 3 days later, but bro was on some bullshit. I ain't even gonna hold you. Oh man, they said, hey man, we got a little 50K for it, like 50. And then I'm gonna owe you back like 50K. That's not mine. What like, what? No, bro. Like, I remember just like sitting there, and I'm like, you know, I'm 18 at the time. I've never seen $50,000, but I'm still like, 50. Like, what are we talking about, bro? I got more streams on the song than the dollar amount you're offering me. Like, this shit don't make no sense. And yeah, I just honestly, that probably would have been the 50,000. Thinking back on it, probably would have been everything I needed to market that song. But you know what? Lesson learned, bro.
Absolutely.
And, I guess me too. Like, I've always felt like I like I need to do it the hard way, I guess is the way to put it. Like, I always feel like, because I was just talking about this the other day. Like, I don't do people dirty. I don't do shit sideways. You know, I don't like to cut, like you were saying, I don't like to cut corners. I just like to create and be myself and do what feels right. You know what I mean? And just, so yeah, that was definitely a lesson learned of like, I can literally watch a song blow up overnight and make $0 off of it.
Wow. How much that beat cost, you think, if you were like on top of it to buy it?
Well, you know, everybody's different with exclusive rights. I would probably say like maybe like 500 to 1,000, something like that. But you know, 18-year-old me don't.
No, for sure. Trust me.
I was working at McDonald's at the time and shit. You know what I mean? I didn't have money like that.
For sure.
So I'm so glad you asked that, because I love to tell people that story, especially artists, bro. It's like, you can have, like we were talking about, you know what I mean? You can have the best song, but the presentation is everything.
Man, absolutely. The package and any kind of message or art you're trying to deliver.
Real shit.
Making videos, doing this, you got to deliver with the package.
Real shit. And the funniest part is the girl that I made the song about, I remember I sent it to her, and she like left me on red, and then it blew up, and she was like, that's a really good song. It was so funny. I still remember that, reading that text, because like I like sent it to her, and I'm like, you know, I'm like on my sad boy shit. I'm like, maybe she'll listen to it. And then she like left me unread. I'm like, fuck. And then the next day she's like, oh, that was a really good song. I'm like, bro.
The power of dopamine.
You feel me? Yeah, real shit, bro.
Dang, man. Appreciate you sharing that story, C.
Yeah.
I hadn't saw a receipt on that, and I was like, "Ooh, I really want to know about this."
Yeah,
I like getting to know people, and yet again, we know people the best when shit hits the fan.
You feel me?
So, thank you.
Yeah, bro. No, that was a really good. That was honestly a really good question. And you know, like I said, I love to put shit like that out there because I want people to be able to learn from my mistakes. You know what I mean? The same way that like we learn from watching other people do shit and be like, well, that guy's a fucking dumbass. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Right. I want to be the dumbass sometimes too. You know?
For sure. That's how I learned too. Just, I mean, and it's weird. Like, you know, part of you's like, no, I don't want to see someone take an L and lose something or learn something, however. But when I see it, it reminds me like, dude, you're not perfect. Like,